This woman bathed in mud every day, but one day she noticed the mud had suddenly become thinner. Startled, she sensed something terrible was about to happen. The next morning, she went to survey the nearby wetlands and discovered that the river level had risen abnormally and the water's flow was accelerating. Sensing disaster, she immediately sent a telegram to the provincial government, warning that the city was about to face a once-in-a-century flood. But when the secretary handed the letter to his superior, the leader scoffed. It hadn't rained for months, and talk of flooding was absurd. However, when the provincial official saw the sender's name, he instantly took it seriously, because the sender was a renowned national hydrologist, and her report was clear and well-founded. Teresa presented her conclusion.
Słabo będzie wyglądać, panie prezydencie.
To further verify her hypothesis, the next day she and a general began inspecting the city's rivers. From the data they gathered beneath a bridge, they confirmed the water's velocity was still increasing and was about to surpass the critical threshold. At the dam, conditions were even worse. On the way back, Teresa suddenly asked the general to stop the car. He thought she needed the restroom, but instead she ran to a nearby farmhouse. She had noticed that one large tree's leaves had turned yellow in midsummer, while the surrounding trees looked normal. She urgently asked the farmer whether they had a basement. The farmer was surprised. It hadn't been used in years. Once inside, Teresa immediately spotted peeling plaster on the wall, damp to the touch. The farmer was baffled. There were no rivers nearby, and groundwater shouldn't rise this high. Teresa realized the danger was far worse than expected. She rushed back to the government office, warning the deputy chief that the city would be inundated and that hospitals should be evacuated at once. But the bald-headed expert dismissed her concerns, insisting there was no need. If they simply blew up the upstream dam, the floodwaters would bypass the city center. He even threw Teresa out of the office. Unshaken, she boarded a plane to return home. Flying over a river, she suddenly noticed something alarming. The watercourse did not match the route on her map. Checking the map's date, she was shocked to discover it was 60 years old. At that moment, she realized her calculations had been wrong. Things were even more catastrophic than she had feared.